Now tonight, to show you how easy this thing is, it's based purely upon motion. The first creative act in Scripture that is recorded, and the Spirit of the Lord moved. He moved. Well, the Spirit of the Lord is in man. Do you not realize that ye are the temple of the living God, and the Spirit of God dwells in you, as we are told? He dwells in me, where? As my own wonderful human imagination. Now I go back to see how he first created. He created by emotion. I move from one state into another state. If it is the state desired, then I have a sense of relief when I get into the state desired. If tonight I was up against it financially, and then suddenly I came into a fortune, what would be the outstanding feeling that I would have? Would it not be relief? So I insist, of all the pleasures that man could ever experience in this world, relief is the most keenly felt. The child is late. You said, be home at 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and there is no child. You think you are in control. You love her dearly, and you think you're in control. Oh yes, I can control my mind, my imagination is easy. But then comes one, and there is no child. And inwardly you conjure 1,001 things that could happen. And then you hear the little knock on the door, or the key in the door, and she comes through the door. What is your emotion? One of relief. Just one of relief. So of all the pleasures of the world, relief is the most keenly felt. It comes in the creative act. Relief. Call it by another name if you will, but it is relief at that moment of explosion. But the same thing is true when I move into a state. What would the feeling be like if it were true? And I work myself into that state as though it is true. If I am in that state, I can suppress the sense of relief. And so I have the sense of relief because I've done it. Now what do I do after that? Nothing. Remain in the state. It has its own appointed hour, and it ripens, and it's going to flower. Don't be concerned. You're in the state. Now let it unfold itself in its own wonderful natural way. It has ways and means that no one knows. Its ways are past finding out. So I move myself into a state. I don't remain in the state that I want to leave behind me and push a button and think something is going to happen. I move. I move from one state into another state. You and I, we're intelligent enough to create a state. So someone comes to you and he says, I do not know exactly what I want, but I don't like what I have. All right, let him tell you what he has. Well, you wouldn't like it either. If you listen carefully, no, I wouldn't like that either. Well, let us reason together. What would you like? Would you like this? Would you like that? And then he comes upon something he would like. Well then, if you are a friend of his, you create a state to deliver your friend from his former state. And so you see him in that state. Well, how do you do it? Bring before your mind's eye your friend. And have your friend with a nice big smile on his face. And have him actually thanking you for what you did for him. Now, the thing has happened yet, but you go beyond the present moment. And you are appropriating now subjectively the objective hope. You hope he will stand before you objectively with a smile on his face, and you hope you're going to hear his words. And the words you're going to hear is, oh, thank you so much. It worked just like a charm. When I saw you the last time, I was up against it. Today, it's simply rolling and rolling in my direction. Everything is perfect. That's what you want to hear for a friend. Well, now you hear that. So if you're hearing that, you move him out of his former state into the state that you have now created for him. Do this, and you cannot fail. So prayer is not petition. Prayer is giving thanks. You don't get on your knees and petition any being outside of yourself. There is no intermediary between yourself and self. You need no priest. You need no so-called healer. You need nothing on the outside. It's all within self. What would the feeling be like if it were true? With that, I catch that feeling, and then I work myself into that state. What would it be like? All right, I know what it would be like. Well, feel it, and keep on feeling it, and keep on feeling it, until all of a sudden, you're relieved. There's a release within you, and then it's done. You can't do it a second time. It's done. So I say, I'm looking at the world from a spot. At every moment in time, I'm always viewing the world from a place. That place could be from a financial position in my world. It could be from a physical position in my world. It could be, you name it. I'm looking from a certain state. And I'm seeing confirmation of that state by what I am seeing. Now, how will I know that I have moved? Well, it's a very simple test to know that I have moved. Unless there is a fixed frame of reference, no one will know that something moved. If I started moving from here to the end of the room, and everything started moving with me at the same time, I have no reference to prove that I have moved. Motion can be detected only by a change of position relative to a fixed object. It must be fixed relative to me, that I may know that I have moved. But all my friends know where I am, who I am, what I am. If I desire a change, my friends, my fixed reference, they should know it. So I don't ask anything of them. I simply assume that I have changed. But if I have changed, then I have a fixed reference, the faces of my friends. Now let me conjure them in my face, in my mind's eye, and let me look at them. Do they see me as a changed person, or are they still seeing the one who would like to be changed? Are they congratulating me on my change? Well, then I've changed. I saw it reflected in their faces. I heard it in their voices. I saw a change on their faces, which change revealed to me that they noticed in me a change. That's what I want. Now, that proves that I moved. Nobody saw me move physically. I'm still seated in the same chair, but I moved. And so the whole thing is based upon motion. It's a psychological motion. We're living in a world of imagination. And this whole vast outpictured world was first imagined. There is the thing you see here that wasn't first imagined. Don't judge from appearances. You think a man, because he's up against it, will be satisfied, say, with X number of dollars? No, don't limit it. Put no limit upon the power of belief. Can you believe that he doesn't have that pressure on him anymore, that he's above it? That is something behind him. Well, put him in that state. It doesn't cost you any more to put him in that state than to put him in a little modified state. You didn't pay anything for it. Come, eat and drink without price. Buy wine, buy milk without money. It didn't cost you a penny to do it, so why modify it? Why make it little for it? It's not exactly what he would want for himself. It's better than what he has, but you want something bigger than that for him. And there is no limit. When you meet people of great wealth in this world, and you'll judge them because they have money, just talk to them for a little while. Money hasn't altered their other states. They're just as stupid as they were before. Now here, may I tell you, you have everything that it takes to be the man, to be the woman that you want to be. Don't pass them up. You have it right here this very night. Know what you want to be. Be definite. When you know exactly what you want to be, don't ask anyone if it's possible. You simply feel that you are it. What would the feeling be like if it were true? Would my wife, my husband, my friends know it? Let them know it, not verbally. Let them know it all in your imagination. Let them see you as they would have to see you if it were true. Just let them see you. And go to sleep in that assumption. For I know from my own experience that an assumption, though denied by my senses and therefore called by the world false, if persisted in, will harden into facts. That I do know.